Welcome back to episode 3 of the GRA CBR Better Together podcast. We are like flying with these. I felt like, Dave, we talked about this idea, in winter, and we're already in episode 3? It's amazing.
How's that possible?
I don't know.
And they're getting great circulation too. I want to thank you and your team.
Oh my gosh, our pleasure. Yeah.
Providing a lot of value. Yeah.
You know what I like about this? I know we're calling this the Better Together year, but I feel like this is just the get stuff done year. I feel like we're just like knocking these ideas out, which makes me feel super happy.
Love it. Exactly.
All right, cool. Well, today we have Mr. Dave Dickey, who's President and Chief Production Officer of Guaranteed Rate Affinity. Also with us for the first time is Kate Amor, who is EVP and Head of Product for GRA. Super excited to hang out with you today, Kate. We have a lot to talk about. We are going to talk all about Guaranteed Rate Affinity and where they are today, but also why luxury matters in the financing conversation. So, we talk a lot about first-time buyers and traditional loans, but what we've been talking about on all these podcasts is the deep bench of products that Guaranteed Rate Affinity has to offer with their loan officers to our Coldwell Banker Realty agents and their clients. So I want to talk about everything from jumbo loans, modern luxury clients, what they need, and really just how financing plays into the role of a luxury advisor, because you really have to have a pretty deep toolkit when it comes to a luxury business. So we're going to jump right in. I'm really excited. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's start with you, Dave. Obviously, a lot of people know about Guaranteed Rate Affinity. What I don't think a ton of people know, probably though, is how well they play in the luxury landscape. So give me the full story. Like, how would you describe where the company is today in luxury, and why is luxury actually such an important focus right now for your company?
I love it. Well, we've got Kate on, and Kate will be able to tell you all of the goodies. She brings all the goodies. But she came on board. Kate, how long has it been now? It's been, I was going to say 3 or 4. Yeah, it's amazing for this one thing. And that was to expand optionality products and programs in the luxury space. Speaking of Guaranteed Rate Affinity, we're an independent mortgage bank, so not a deposit bank. Most people don't think of an independent mortgage bank as a place where you would excel in jumbo or excel in optionality products and programs. And so we kind of get thrown into that bucket. But little known, we are the biggest player when it comes to, I'll just throw that under one bucket, optionality. But that's non-agency jumbo products and programs. You may hear the term non-QM, non-qualified mortgage. That really sits inside a bigger basket of what we call portfolio loans. So, and there was a period of time where, Kate might keep me honest on this, but I want to say it was 2022 when the market shifted really hard and slowed down quite a bit. There was an outflow of liquidity in the jumbo lending space in particular. And so for that period of time, I want to say about a year and a half, there was really in the industry a lack of liquidity there outside of the depository banks. And we were the first ones in, the first independent mortgage bank back into jumbo with our own securitization of our own jumbo product. And so, and we've always been one of the leaders in the IMB in the space, but we were the first ones back when everybody else was like, in terms of independent mortgage banks, were very risk averse and frankly having a heck of a time even finding liquidity to play in the space and compete. So it's really, really important to us. But for us, besides having all the products and programs and options and the tools that everybody can use, is on top of that, I'll just throw the cherry on top, is how obsessed we are with the experience of our clients. And I'm going to plug it right now because April just closed and 94% of our clients said we made getting the mortgage easy.
It's a 4%
that does
increase.
Not happen.
That's like really big. We're just 90%, which was like
it
incredible.
Continues to accelerate. It continues to accelerate. It's insane. And we're obsessed with it because we have this whole hospitality mindset that, like, our mission is to create a hospitality environment inside mortgage, which is unheard of. I'm sure everybody out there's done multiple mortgages and you would say it's not easy and it doesn't feel hospitality. I wouldn't say we're all the way there, but we're getting close.
Is pretty darn good. I think you're in the A+ range. That's amazing. And when you think about, especially for luxury clients, I think ease, discretion, all of those things carry heavy weight with this clientele. So being able to have that bragging point is really important. So just really quickly to summarize, Dave, because I think you said a lot of really valuable things. It's our job at the Coldwell Banker marketing side to translate this for value that you use to win listings. So if you're sitting and you're an agent sitting at and listening to this podcast and you're bringing this to the listing appointment, they are the biggest. So they're the biggest in the space. They were the first to return post-pandemic, and they're making this easy. 94% of your clients are going to feel that this process is easy, which in luxury is utmost importance. That's amazing. We alluded to this a couple times already, and it's early in the podcast, but you guys have a lot of products. I think the one that feels like the most understood or most known about probably is the jumbo loan. Jumbo lending is probably like the most mainstream option. So Kate, let's jump into that first. If someone's listening and they're maybe not sure what a jumbo loan even is, let's talk about that. And then I would love for you to talk about how agents can understand that option and use it to stand out from a sea of sameness as they're going to win listings.
So when I think about a true luxury loan or even like a jumbo loan, I start to think jumbo these days is anything above 1.2 million. I realize that sounds crazy, but that's the reality now. So to me, jumbo is above 1.2 million. And if we're talking about the true luxury market, then we're really thinking like, how can we go up in excess of, up to 5 million, or what we like to refer to as the super jumbo. And so that's really anything from 2.5 up to 5 million. And then we even have additional options here to go to 10 million with our awesome in-house underwriting. And then we can even go up to 30 million in some situations as well.
I actually read a stat recently that 60% of buyers over the 10 million price point are still buying in cash. But listen, that's still 40% that need financing. But I was like, 60% have $10 million in cash. Like, that's incredible. But almost half need financing. So interesting, not only that you have the two jumbo, super jumbo, but that in-house writing for the ultra high net worth individual is something that probably most people don't know that exists. So it's great.
Absolutely. And so what I love about it is that you can do everything that you love and trust about working with GRA up to $10 million in-house, and then still get access to those premium features like the ability to use assets as income, quick turn times. Let's say that you need condo tells or some other type of unusual non-horrendable condo requirement. We can help you with that. And so I think those are just very premium, high touch things that are important with high net worth borrowers.
Luxury financing is not just about the rate. It's about things like liquidity, leverage, timing, tax strategy, things that your LOs are superheroes in. They know how to do this without having to make you move your money traditionally. So one of the products that I stumbled across that I was fascinated by was your launch of Ratefi. So, for clients whose wealth may sit in digital assets, which is very unlike traditional financing, what are you guys doing with Ratefi to give these buyers more options without disrupting their total wealth picture?
So I'm super stoked that you guys have opened the door on this conversation, because 1 in 4 adults in the United States owns cryptocurrency. And
1 in 4?
1 in 4.
Wow,
1 in 4.
That's way higher than expected.
I have crypto.
I am part of it. I just have a small part of it. I wish it was bigger.
Listen, every time it goes down, you just set it to buy, right? And the beauty of it is that it's constantly up and down. So you get it while it's low, and then you ride that baby up. So crypto is the way to go. And 42% of the people who own crypto are Gen Z, 36% are millennials. So crypto is here, and crypto is here to stay. And it is part of a modern, diverse way of building wealth, and so important. And which is why we created the Ratefi product. And the beauty of this is that because of recent changes that have been happening at the government level, like crypto is now being normalized. So if I want to sell crypto, it's a capital gains event. Boo, hiss. So that's why we needed to come out with a new product that really helped solve that problem and empowered people to treat crypto like any other asset, not require a liquidation event. For people who don't know out there today, most crypto lending and products require you to put your money, lose control of it. It then gets managed by somebody else. And that's not an awesome situation. We designed something that doesn't have any of that. You can keep your crypto. You have crypto freedom. Freedom to do what you want with your assets, invest them how you see fit, and still qualify for your loan like you would anything else without having to go through a bunch of pain and suffering. That is why we designed this product. Just common sense, easy, bespoke experience that people deserve when they have a lot of crypto.
So again, that product's called Ratefi. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a great picture of innovation at the guaranteed rate affinity level. But again, to double down on the 94% of making the process easy, that's easy. You know, like the traditional way of getting around things with crypto, not easy. This is a really good example. Dave, I want to segue a little bit. You kicked off the call and you were talking about the difference between a traditional depository bank versus what guaranteed rate affinity's role is in luxury lending. So what advice, like, especially when clients are considering private banks versus traditional depository banks, the experiences are probably very different, very daunting versus maybe very easy. So if you were in the room with someone trying to explain this to a luxury client, what's your talk track look like?
Yeah, and first of all, I would say, we do see a lot of execution on the financing side through wealth banks, and which is a great option for a wealth client. If they've got their money at a certain place and they'll offer financing, great. Oftentimes you find fantastic rates in that as well. But it gets tricky. So you have to understand, like, also they could require some pledging of that asset or freezing that asset or liquidating part of that asset. So that's still a good option. For us, where we stand out across that landscape, even compared to our peers in the independent mortgage space, but certainly in the bank deposit space, is just going to be the breadth of options, the breadth of products and solutions that we have. I don't know how any other way to say it, but it dwarfs our competition. I can't give you and this, by the way, has just happened. We've always been a leader here, just in creativity and options, shooting for that, hospitality experience. But just in the last, Kate, probably correct me here, but 2 or 3 years, the proliferation of products, programs, and solutions, and partly so if I say 3 years, we could go back to the earlier conversation. That's when Kate joined. So you can put 2 and 2 together. We have more tools and options than we've ever had. And I remember it was some crazy stat. I even think, you correct me too, Kate, like just last year, I think of the products and programs that we utilized, I want to say 40% were not there just pre-Kate. Let's put it that way, 2 or 3 years ago.
Here's my question for you. I'm going to give you a megaphone to every single agent and loan officer listening to this podcast. I want you to pick, I know there's pre-Kate and post-Kate for the past. So during your last 3 years, if you had to pick your favorite product that you feel like is underutilized, give me what is the product and give me the elevator pitch for it so that our capture rate or our usage rate spikes because of this podcast.
My favorite product, hands down, is the GRA portfolio product line. And that particular product line is designed to support self-employed people, business owners, investors. And why I love it is because it supports the American dream. I can't think of something more American than not wanting to pay a bunch of taxes. I mean, it's the foundation of this country. And we designed a product that helps facilitate that. So you have a CPA that likes to write your income down. We've got a loan for that is going to be low effort, easy, a solution, and is going to help you qualify for a bigger luxury loan than you thought you were going to be able to. And whether that's using assets as income, using common sense business cash flow to qualify, or even the rent stream on that beautiful short-term rental you're buying in a luxury market, we can make that happen with this product. And it is by far my favorite and most underutilized.
If an agent or an LO is listening to this and wants to get started to think more strategically about this joint venture, whether they're on the LO side or the agent side, what is the very first move they should make? Kate, I'll go with you first.
So I think one of the first things that you should think is, we likely have a loan for that. So no matter what, if you're thinking you have a complex situation, talk to us. And as my loan officers, we got a loan for that, and check out our online resources.
Love that. Dave, bring us home.
Opportunity is one of my favorite words. But yeah, and you talk a lot about relationships, and relationships with our clients, their friends and family, our communities, is so important. And you could see what was happening right here. There was more awareness being created just by us spending a little bit of time together. Imagine what can happen. And so agents and loan officers spend some time together and just get the sort of the basics of the landscape down on what different products and programs might be available. But more importantly, maybe make a commitment to each other to strengthen relationship with clients by just being the advisor, being the helper, being someone who just gives options. May not use it, but it certainly helps all of us if we can explain all the options, because then we become an advisor versus, for in our side, just becoming like a loan mortgage consultant. So sometimes people just need the mortgage, just need advice. And so that can help. If we can become that and much deeper, that in itself will help deepen and broaden some more relationships, which then leads to more opportunity for us. So spend some time together.
I like that. Consultant versus advisor is really interesting. That's cool. All right. Yeah. Well, we know that the luxury market is hot, and we know that you have a loan for that. So that's a really good way to close. We will end with the thought that individual power on both sides, but together we really bring collective strength. Thank you. We will be having Pauline Bennett on our next podcast. So look out for the next episode, and really looking forward to getting this one out. Thanks, everyone.